بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. This is a continuation of the major signs of the Day of Judgment, and we've reached regarding the Dajjal. This is the major or the main Dajjal that we're talking about here. This is the first major sign of the Day of Judgment regarding this Dajjal, and we've covered two main ahadith or sets of ahadith. One is to do with Tamim ad-Dari radiallahu ta'ala an, and his hadith and his journey into the oceans and finding the island and seeing a big beast. And then you find Ibn Sayyad and his stories of Ibn Sayyad. Who was Ibn Sayyad? Some of the Sahabis swore that this person here, Ibn Sayyad, was Dajjal in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now we're going to go on towards the main concepts of Dajjal. And all of these different hadith. So there's so much different ahadith on Dajjal. 45 different Sahaba companions have narrated about Dajjal. 45 different Sahaba narrating something about Dajjal or that he's going to come. So it's reached the level of mutawatir. Mutawatir is such a hadith where so many people have narrated this hadith. And this is the concept of Dajjal. So it's a very high level of hadith, and it's a very high level where a person realizes that this is something that is part of our aqidah and part of our belief system, and you cannot reject it. So what are the features of Dajjal, and what are the other concepts of Dajjal in itself? Is that we find that he is physically deformed. He is physically deformed in many different aspects, and we're going to cover some of those parts. Like example, he's written on his forehead kafara, yani kafir. On his forehead, everyone can see that on his forehead will be written kafir. And regarding his eye, it will be in a certain form which is of like a grape. This has also been mentioned. He will have no children. I'll come up to more details. This is the overview. He will have no children. Dajjal will not have any children. And he's claimed to be the Masih and the Messiah. And he claims to be Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He claims this. This is his claim of Dajjal. And some also have said that how can he be a god? Some have kind of questioned that how can he even claim to be a god when he is actually deformed as a human? So how can he claim to be an actual god? And he actually walks with crooked legs. He will walk with crooked legs. This is Dajjal. So when you see someone like this, then it points towards the main Dajjal. So this hadith is mentioned in Tirmidhi, and he mentions here that Dajjal will come from the eastern lands. What is the eastern lands? Khurasan is what we know of, and as mentioned in the hadith, Khurasan will be Iraq, Iran, and the further lands as well. And the groups of people will start to follow him as if their faces are like hammered out shields. So these followers, the followers of Dajjal, will have certain faces, and their faces are like, when you have a shield and you batter it and it becomes more flattened out. So those are certain type of people in the eastern lands. So those people in the eastern part of the world, they have certain flat faces, and the followers will be looking something close towards this. So the likes of, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and probably those areas fits into this description. I could be wrong. Musnad Imam Ahmad mentions another hadith. This has been mentioned that Dajjal will come from Asfahan. Where's Asfahan? So in the Iranian peninsula, we find Asfahan. Dajjal will come from Asfahan. We mentioned this hadith. And he will be from the Yahud, and 70,000 followers will also be there. The Bani Israel will also come from that area and follow him, that area there. And even in Asfahan now, you find there's lots of groups of small portions of Jews there. And they're settling in Iran, and they have this as well. So there you find this. And the first claim of Dajjal will be in Asfahan, and then the global claim, which is mentioned in another hadith, that he will come from Iraq and Sham. The global claim, and everyone will find out that Dajjal will be there, will be in Iraq and Sham. Between Iraq and Sham, that's everyone will know. But the first claim will be in Asfahan. Another hadith mentions here that Dajjal will come at a time of chaos, complete chaos, bloodshed everywhere, hunger, starvation. So imagine like apocalypse, when you find like an Armageddon type, complete end of war, when you have all of this kind of situation where bloodshed, everyone's struggling for meat, for food, everyone's struggling to try and even get anything, and you find people in groups trying to pillage, trying to rob people, and then this kind of anarchy going on. So you find bloodshed, hunger, starvation. This is when Dajjal will come in. It's very important to realize starvation and poverty. Why am I mentioning starvation and poverty? It's because he will provide them with safety and security. Dajjal will come and say, I've got food, no one else has got food, here's food, come and join me and follow me. And this is why it's so easy for people to follow Dajjal. Because the situation will be such, there will be starvation and now he's got food. So everyone's going to say, yeah, I got food, come and follow me, and so forth. And he'll give them safety and security as well. He'll give them safety and security. So this is what people are looking for, because you've got highway robbers, you've got people pillaging, you've got killing, murdering, and he'll be with his followers and so forth. Gives them security, safety. People will start to follow him. People will start to follow him. This is why he will have a lot of followers. And those people will be tested with bloodshed, war, famine, starvation, and on top of that you get tested with the Dajjal. So it's quite hard. It's not an easy situation to be in. When you experience that, it's very hard to actually choose. Because some people, and especially the women folk, especially, they'll say, look, this is security, this is money, I'm going to go there, this is food, I'm going to feed my children. So they'll follow the Dajjal. He will command, and what powers will he have? He will command the skies to rain. So just like it will be starvation and drought, rain. And then Allah will give him the power to try and do this. He will distribute bread and food while people are starving. Obviously people don't come to him then. Obviously people will now start to follow him. And he will demand his followers to believe that he is Masih, and then believe that he is Rabb. He is God. This is what he will do. So while giving him bread and so forth, they say, yeah, I am now the Rabb. I am the one that's making the rainfall. I am the one that's feeding you. I am the one that's Raziq. I am the one that's going to be providing you food and so forth. And people will believe him. And people will start to go and flock towards the Dajjal. Another point is that he will have the shaitan and the jinn at his command. Now remember this, the jinn are such where they're faster than us, they're stronger than us. Generally speaking, they're faster and stronger, they can travel very quickly. They can do certain things which humans can't. Allah has given them abilities that humans can't do, but the jinn and the shayateen can do. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just like how you find in Sulaiman alayhi salam and the story of Sulaiman alayhi salam, you find Sulaiman alayhi salam ordering the jinn to go to this part of the land, that part of the land, go and take the throne of Bilqis and bring it to me in an instant. And it was there. Before even the blink of an eye, it was already there. So this is what the jinn can do. They have a lot of powers and Allah has given them some abilities. So just like you have other people have abilities, jinnat are faster and stronger. But also in the animal kingdom you find some of the they're also faster and stronger than humans. You find cheetahs are faster than humans. You find elephants and tigers and lions may be stronger than humans. So just like they're another creation of Allah, just like animals are another creation of Allah, the jinn are also another creation of Allah. Just like they are fast, like the animal kingdom is fast, ostrich is very fast, human is not as fast as that, but you find that the strength is in elephants and in hippopotamus and so forth. So they're different creations. So there's just like they have different creations, the shayateen and the jinnat will also be underneath the control of the Dajjal, just like Sulaiman alayhi salam has some sort of control. Allah will give him that as well. So Allah gives the Dajjal some sort of powers, some sort of abilities through the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a test for the people. Because it's fitna, Masih al-Dajjal. This is the fitna and the test of Dajjal. So now Allah will give him certain powers to test the people, who's going to be on the right and who's going to be on the wrong. So he will have all of these things. So just like how you have example, rain coming from the sky or this, then the shayateen and the jinnah can have some sort of powers to do certain things. He wants people to be like this and that. And this is why you find some of the next narrations, how does this happen? They know because they have jinn and the shayateen with him. He has the power to resurrect the dead. The Dajjal will come and he will resurrect the dead. How will this happen? Or at least one person will be resurrected. How will this happen? This has been mentioned in Muslim. This hadith has been mentioned, very famous Sahih hadith. A person will come and he will not believe in Dajjal at all. He said, this is Dajjal, I'm not going to believe in you. And then what if, so what he asked this question, Dajjal will ask this person the question, what if I bring and resurrect your parents that were dead, I bring them alive. And I bring them alive, what will happen? Then your parents will be brought to life in front of them, and they will say to the son, go and believe in this person, or go and believe in this creature, or this person. So this is Dajjal, but go and believe in him. He is your Lord, he is Masih, he is the Messiah, and go and believe in him. So if this would happen, would you believe your parents? Because yes, I will believe my parents, of course I will. So then 2 jinns will come, or the shayateen will come in the form of parents. The shayateen will come in the form of his parents, because that's what shayateen and the jinnah can do. They can shapeshift, and they can come in the different forms. So they'll come in the form of his parents. And once they come in the form of his parents, and then they'll speak whatever they need to speak, and the mother and the father, jinn speaks, and then they'll eventually, this person will start to believe in Dajjal in itself. So this is how the trickery will work. This is the deception. This is the fitna. This is the test of Dajjal. It's not easy. It's not easy, but now because we've got these narrations, it makes it easy for us. It makes it easy for us. So if somebody comes and we realize this is Dajjal straight away, but now if he starts to do this and starts to do that, then he goes, okay, then a person who doesn't have strong iman, he will very easily fall into all of these kind of trickeries and deceptions. Another one of his qualities that he has, or that Allah will give him, is he will have Jannah and the fire with him. He will have Nar, he will have fire, and Jannah and paradise with him. So what does that mean? Is it actual paradise and actual Nar? Probably not. But he's probably got some sort of blessings and some sort of punishments. So whether it's in a form, I don't know, in a form of punishments and a form of blessings, or whether that could be fruit and something else, or whether that could be punishments like, I don't know, to some person who can give punishment, or whatever it could be, in different forms. So the hadith mentions that a person will realize that his pleasures in Jannah are actually his torture, and the actual torture part will actually be pleasures. So the trickery would be, if you were to go towards the Jannah side, and the good blessing side is actually riddled with all of the hardships, and it's actually punishments. So it's a trickery, it's a mirror, it's a mirage. And on the left side you find, it looks like it's the Nar, it looks like it's the Jahannam. But what happens? It's actually Jannah, and it's actually something which is good. This is the trickery of Dajjal. So then, if a person, this is what Rasulullah Sallallahu mentioned, if you cannot escape, if you can't escape this situation where he's got Jannah and Nar in front of you, then jump towards the punishment side. Don't go towards the blessings, rather go towards the punishment side. This is what Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said. He said, if you get in this situation and you can't escape, rather escape. But if you can't escape, then go towards the punishment. Why? Because this is a trickery of shaitan, and going towards the punishment, then this will actually be something which is of goodness and escape from wherever you are. And this just demonstrates a person's iman, and iman will defeat the jinn, not our own fists. So this is something to be very, this is a point to try and learn. If a person wants to beat anything, then it's iman that will beat him. When a person wants to beat, example, a big, an animal, what will happen? Your fists generally won't win. You're fighting one-on-one with a lion, you're generally not going to win. With an elephant, you're generally not going to win. But if you have strong iman, and you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, obviously then you've got Allah's on your side. And if you have Allah on your side, that will beat anything in the way. You have your shaitan, you have your jinnat, and any Dajjal on one side, and you have Allah, then who's going to win? It's only going to be Allah. So this is what a person's iman will demonstrate, and when a person demonstrates his iman, then he'll be victorious in any other way, whether it's into this dunya or the akhirah. Another hadith which mentions regarding some of the different qualities of Dajjal is Abu Dawud mentioned this hadith. Again, it's something of a sahih hadith, and he mentions that they were on an expedition. So they're going on a journey and they're on an expedition. And then this camel came and he went up. So example, you know where the camel puts himself up and then the rider on the camel almost falls. So it's going up a small little hill and the rider almost falls down. And he almost threw off the person. So what happened? This person cursed shaitan. What did he do? He cursed shaitan. La'natullahi ala shaitan or something like this. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam heard this person cursing shaitan. He goes, don't even mention shaitan like this. Because if you do, then his ego will start to become bigger and bigger and bigger than a house. Rather say, Bismillah. And when you say this, shaitan will become smaller than a small little dharra, an atom. So look at the moral and the lesson of this hadith. He goes, don't mention shaitan and praise shaitan in a certain way, where because he's made you fall, now it's because of shaitan, now he gets happy. Now if you start mentioning, oh, the jinn are doing this and the jinn are doing that, look how strong they are, look at this and look at that, then what happens? The jinn start to get more braver. Now the ego starts to go like this. Now the head gets so big. Now they're thinking they're somebody. And what happens? That once they become braver and once they become more brash, then they start to do something, they start to cause mischief and so forth. Same with shaitan. His ego becomes so big when you start to mention him and he's saying, oh, people are making la'nat about me. Look what I'm doing. I must be doing something good. So don't do this. Rather, if something happens, you say the name of Allah. Once you say the name of Allah, he becomes small. His ego becomes as small as a dharra, a complete atom, even smaller than that. And this is what we're supposed to do. Anything happens, we remind ourselves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So instead of something, we say Bismillah. Say Bismillah, A'udhu Billah, or something like this. And this is something to learn from this hadith as well. So these are the qualities of shaitan. Some of them are good, some of them are, some of them are good. All of them are bad. All of them are bad, and this is the different types of qualities that he has. Other ones is he will be ahmar. Ahmar is reddish in complexion. Now in the Arabs, what does ahmar mean? They were obviously very fair-skinned. So they were also called ahmar as well. So it's basically a white person. He'll have fair skin, yellowish kind of Caucasian type. So he'll have fair skin, like a white person. His hair will be curly. So curly hair. This is Dajjal will be like this. He'll be short. Not tall, but he'll be quite short. And he's broad-chested. He'll be broad-chested. Not only that, so then he said that his legs will be crooked and he'll walk crooked. And he's got that one eye which is squint, which is like a grape. And then he's got kafara, kafir written on his forehead. So these are some of the qualities of Dajjal. You can recognize Dajjal when you see Dajjal, something like this. Muslim Imam Ahmad mentioned this hadith. And he mentions here that the majority of the followers of Dajjal will be from the Yahud and from the women. We understand the Yahud, but why the women? Why would women want to follow? Why is it that amongst the followers of Dajjal will be women? And I mentioned this, that because of the safety and stability that he will provide, because let's say that the mother has the child and there's no food around and it's going to be very hard, and then Dajjal will be giving them food and stability, and then these mothers will go and go towards Dajjal. So this is one of the reasons why it's very harsh times, and in those harsh times, then Dajjal takes that opportunity to come and give food out and give and so forth and help the people in that kind of way. But this is why the followers of Dajjal will be amongst these people. What will he do while he's on earth? He will travel the cities of the world except for 2 cities, and those 2 cities are Makkah and Medina. And who will stop them? Who will stop him? The angels will stop Dajjal. Angels will stop Dajjal, so he's not allowed in, and they will not be allowed in. This is what happens. Muslim mentioned this hadith that Dajjal will try to enter in Medina, and the angels will stop him. Muslim mentioned this hadith. He will cause the city to tremble 3 times. He will shake the whole city 3 times, 3 earthquakes. So listen to this, okay? 3 earthquakes. One after another, one after another, one after another. So, what will happen when an earthquake comes? What happens when a person's got an earthquake? What's the first thing you do? After what happens? What's the first thing you do inside? You come out. Why? Because the building can collapse on you, you go out. In the same way, Dajjal is shaking up the whole of Medina. What are the people going to do? They're going to come out of Medina. But which type of people will come out of Medina? Munafiqeen. The Munafiqeen will actually leave Medina. Those true believers won't leave, because they know that Dajjal can't come in Medina. So they'll stay in Medina. But the Munafiqeen will come out. So now what will happen? The whole of Medina is now pure. So Dajjal will actually purify Medina from all those Munafiqeen will start to come out, because they're scared of the earthquake, and they'll start to leave and so forth. So the Munafiqeen will all flee Medina, and Medina will only be left with pure believers. With pure believers. So this is a very important point, because we mentioned regarding Mahdi, and Mahdi was going to be running away from Medina, going to Makkah, and then in between Maqam Ibrahim, Hajar Aswad, people are making bay'ah with him. And who's asking him for bay'ah? Is the people from Medina, and those are the true believers. Those are the true believers. So this was being mentioned as well. So imagine you're there in Medina, and then you leave. Oof. Very scary. So there, at least we know the information of Dajjal. We know what's going to happen and what is he going to do. So now we know at least what to do and how to try and deal with that situation. And lots of people, they have this belief that they only follow the Quran. There's some people that say, I only follow the Quran, and they reject hadith. They reject hadith completely. And this is obviously incorrect. We are Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Ahlul Sunnah is part of it is hadith. So we are Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, and this is what we believe in. We believe in the Quran and the hadith as well. Imagine a person doesn't believe in the hadith and he doesn't believe in Dajjal, because there's no Dajjal mentioned inside the Quran. Then what's going to happen? So this is also just extra proof for us as well. Another hadith mentions that Medina is like a furnace, and it sifts the pure from the filthy. And this is what he's doing when Dajjal comes in the context of Dajjal. So the followers of Mahdi will also be from Medina, and they will be 100% pure believers. So the army of Dajjal will gain a very large army, and Muslim Imam Ahmad mentioned this hadith that the Dajjal will go to one of the mountains outside of Medina after denied entry from Medina with his followers and his army. And what will he say? From the mountain just outside Medina, he's looking inside of Medina from the mountain tops. And he and Dajjal shall point towards the Masjid and say, do you see, يعني هذا Baytul Abyad. What's Baytul Abyad? The White House. So back in the day, back in like 1,000 years ago, did Medina look like a White House? Did it look like how it looks now? Now when you go on top over the, when you go to Medina, landing in Medina, right? From plane, what do you see? You can very clearly see the white marble of Medina, the Haram Sharif. You can see this. So then, now you understand. Now you're seeing this is the White House. This is now the white area there. This is the White House. So هذا Baytul Abyad. This is the White House. So the Dajjal will come to the mountain and say, this is the White House. This is the Masjid of Ahmad. He won't say Muhammad. He will say Ahmad. They call him Ahmad. And this is like when you see a bird's eye view of Medina, you see now it's white. But 1,000 years ago, no, it wasn't white. Now there wasn't a marble there and covering and so forth and so forth. So now it becomes white. Only recently it's become. So now all of the signs are starting to fit together. All of the jigsaw is coming together. The puzzles are fitting inside. Dajjal is coming. Now all of the signs of Dajjal and what he's saying now is making sense for us. Now it will make much more sense. But 1,000 years ago, this hadith, they're thinking, this is ajib. When is this going to happen? What's going on here? What do it mean? White House? What is it talking about? So they wouldn't know. Now it makes very much sense for us as well. And the Dajjal, I'll finish on this. The Dajjal will not be victorious in every single battle. I'll finish on this part. In every single battle, the Muslims will win some, but the Dajjal won't be killed by anyone except for Isa alayhi salam. So they have battles. So remember this. Is it just Mahdi and Dajjal, and they go to another place and Mahdi and Dajjal, and they go to another place and Mahdi and Dajjal? What do you think it is? There'll be Muslims around the world, and Dajjal will have a battle with this, the forces of Dajjal and the forces of good, right? The forces of good and the forces of Dajjal. And that could happen anywhere. I'm just it's not mentioned in the hadith here, but I'm just saying that this could happen everywhere and anywhere. That you have a battle here in Africa, battle here in this place, in that country, in this place, in that country, good versus evil, good versus evil. Some Dajjal side will win, some the Muslim side will win, and then the actual Dajjal and Isa alayhi salam and Mahdi, that will happen in the Middle East, and we'll come up to that as well, inshallah. And this is where Isa alayhi salam will defeat the Dajjal. Many battles, and this is the truth versus Dajjal and so forth. So this is the apocalypse, Armageddon, just like you find. Will it go back towards sticks and stones and swords? Allah knows best. Some say yes, some say no. Again, Allah knows best. Even we're looking in the movies in the olden times, there's movies of apocalypse and the Terminator and all of this. And what happens is sometimes you find that sticks and stones and swords, and there's no technology. Anything could happen. Allah knows best. But these are some of the traits of Dajjal and characteristics of Dajjal and what's going to happen. And this is very beneficial for us, because if either us or our progeny is part of that, and then we can teach him regarding the aspects of Dajjal and what to be saved from, and how to try and deal with certain things. So hopefully, inshallah, it's beneficial for all of us, and hopefully we take benefit from this, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us, to protect us from the fitna of Dajjal and his system of Dajjal, and protect us from all types of fitnas the minor signs and the major signs. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect our progeny from all types of fitness and make us strong in our iman and strong in everything that we do. So then in this Ramadan, we try to have something which is something which is of a closeness and relationship towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our Ramadan, accept our fasting, accept our starving, accept our not drinking water and staying away from bad deeds. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive our sins and accept us for the khidmat of deen as well. Subhanallah bihamdi, subhanallah bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Just one announcement before we go inside, inshallah. One person has requested that Brother Iman, his mother is in hospital. Please make dua for her recovery. So just before iftar, inshallah, remember her, inshallah, inside of your du'as, so she gets full shifa, inshallah, and afiyah. Inshallah, if everyone can make their way towards the tent at the back, inshallah, and then they can make their du'as, and then they can break their fast, inshallah.